Barry got into a fight.
Guess I wasn't fast enough.
No, it's better to have a good heart than fast legs.
When I was 11, my mom was murdered. I saw what looked like a ball of lightning. Inside the lightning, there was a man. He killed my mom.
Mom? Dad?
Sorry.
You can't keep ducking work so you can go off chasing down these urban legends, Barry. Everyone you work with thinks you're a weirdo.
You've got to get yourself a girlfriend.
I've spent my whole life searching for the impossible, never imagining that I would become the impossible. Hit by lightning.
How's he still alive?
He's coding.
Charge battles to 200, clear! Oh my God.
Where am I?
You're at Star Labs.
I need you to urinate in this.
What is happening? What is going on?
You were struck by lightning, dude.
Lightning gave me abs.
You were in a coma.
For how long?
9 months. Welcome back, Mr. Allen. We have a lot to discuss.
I watched you die, Barry. You kept dying, your heart kept stopping.
It's still beating.
Feels really fast.
See, you thought the world was slowing down. You were going so fast, it only looked like everyone else was standing still.
There's so much that we don't understand.
What's happening to me?
You had a distal radius fracture. It's healed in 3 hours.
How is that even possible?
We don't know.
How does it fit?
It's a little snug.
You don't really believe he can run that fast, do you?
We've been searching for other metahumans like yourself. The sky went black, and then boom! Outside was inside.
Clyde Martin, he's a bank robber. I think he can control the weather. What really happened that night?
The dimensional barrier ruptured, unleashing unknown energies into our world. Antimatter, dark energy, X elements.
Those are all theoretical.
And how theoretical are you?
I've been thinking too small.
He's still out there. We have to stop him.
You're not a hero. You're just a young man who was struck by lightning.
Martin!
This just keeps getting cooler.
Your metahumans have been busy, but I need your help to catch Martin and anyone else out there like him. But I can't do it without you.
I have something that might help. It's made of a reinforced tripolymer. It's heat and abrasive resistant.
What if I'm not a hero? What if I'm just some guy who was struck by lightning?
I don't think that bolt of lightning struck you, Barry. I think it chose you because you can inspire people, watching over your city like a guardian angel, making a difference, saving people in a flash.
It's time to think big.
I'll run around it in the opposite direction.
You'll die.
You're not faster than a bullet. Run, Barry, run!
What happened here?
Just your everyday kind of bad guy shootout. My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive. A friend recently gave me the idea for a new name, and something tells me it's gonna catch on.
Take your own advice. Wear a mask.
Cool.
DC is 3 for 3. Yes, this is the third time in a row they've made quite a splash with a trailer for one of their new television shows for the 2014 fall season. A season which it looks like DC is going to dominate. Now, of course, first there was Gotham, which was such a big hit and looked so good it jumped out of the comic book fan arena into the mainstream. Then Constantine, that stayed in the comic book arena, but was very well received. People really liked the way that looked. And now, of course, there's The Flash. Also looks very good in my opinion, but this I think is not even just staying with comic book fans, but into the smaller subgroup of Arrow fans. Now, of course, Arrow has a very strong cult fan base and a very vocal cult fan base. And it looks like they're very pleased with what this spin-off has to offer. And I actually prefer this to Arrow because I've never really gotten into Arrow because it just seems so far from the original character of Green Arrow. That kind of has followed the New 52 to some degree, but it really is its own entity. And I just couldn't get into it. But this, Flash, looks a little bit better to me, but it looks even more comic booky. But not just the Flash in general comics, this is almost, at least element for element, what's being built in the New 52. So I'm very curious as to how longtime Flash fans will feel about that, because this isn't the Flash that they have loved for so long, the character that has allowed DC to build what it has today. It's the reinvention that DC is trying to put forward. And I have to say, I dropped the New 52 Flash comic because, ironically, it just wasn't moving along fast enough. But I see a lot of the elements here. I remember them, and then also things that I still cover and follow the stories in. I follow the stories in comic book news, so I know what's going on there. The big reveals, and one, for instance, is that they are bringing back Wally West, but he's going to be African American. And you see a character in the description here, the cast list, which I brought up for myself to look at here, and one of the characters is sure enough an African American Detective West. So I would predict that his son Wally will soon be joining Barry with the Speed Force. So I think that's very interesting, and also you have the way Barry Allen is all set up. That's all right out of the New 52. You also have his other whole cast of characters where he works in the CSI Crime Lab. For instance, you have David Singh. He's also from the comics. You see just a lot of the same elements. And I have to say, I don't really know if the New 52 comic book is doing well enough or is well enough received to etch it in the stone of television, but we'll see. As I said, I do kind of like what's on display here. Also, I have to say, the biggest surprise for me here was Tom Cavanaugh is in this. I love Tom Cavanaugh, so I was like, great casting coup, The Flash. I'd be very interested to watch this just for him. Now, of course, let's start with Grant Gustin, who's playing our lead, our Barry Allen. I'm really impressed with his acting ability. I've only seen him on Glee, back when I used to watch Glee, as a nemesis for Kurt and Blaine. And he was like totally different on that show. So he can act. He's very, he's not one of those actors who can only do one thing. He was like playing a big jerk, really self-involved jerk there. And he seems really nice and has the aspects that you would expect Barry Allen to have. Introverted, but deep down a hero. I think he pulls that off very nicely. And I kind of like his odd, gosh, gee whiz kind of approach. He makes it work, although he does remind me a lot of Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. And so people who have a problem with that Peter Parker, I'm wondering why this Barry Allen is okay with them. And of course, he's not the trademark, the blonde that they've used in the comics, but I think Grant Gustin, he looks fine. That's really nitpicking. Also, the special effects with him look pretty good. We're getting a lot of speedsters. We have our dueling Quicksilvers on the big screen. Now we have our Flash here on the small screen. And I guess that speed works very well for the budget of television. Although television budgets seem to be getting pretty big, or technology seems to be getting cheaper. But these look pretty good. And, we, for instance, see their version of the Weather Wizard in this extended teaser, extended trailer, and that looks pretty well realized as well. And on a side note, the Flash, of course, is famous for his rogues gallery. He has a very strong rogues gallery, perhaps right up there with Batman. And that could really be something that's a great thing for this show. And I think the way they seem to have described how all these people got superpowers from one, one event, one space event, science event, seems plausible. And I think it's interesting they're bringing in Star Labs, so you're starting to see a building a little bit of the DC universe. And it's almost like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ties into the movie least via S.H.I.E.L.D. Maybe Star will be a link. But then also you see Ferris aircraft brought in here as well. So it makes me wonder what they're planning to do with Green Lantern, if that's going to be, bunted down to television, or if they're just going to have Ferris be something that crosses over as well. I kind of wish that Danielle Panabaker was Ferris, but she's a character called Caitlin Snow. But anyway, so back to Grant Gustin. I think the special effects look good. They look well realized. I think his character looks good. I think his personal arc looks good as well. I don't like the mask, though. I know apparently he told Arrow to wear a mask, as this trailer says, but it just doesn't work. And if he was going to wear a mask, I wish that he had goggles built in, because, he spends enough time as Barry Allen that we'll be able to emotionally connect to the character if you can't see his eyes when he's the Flash. But, it goes back to the old, a domino mask doesn't really do that great a job to hide your identity. I don't understand why people aren't like, hey, it's Barry. I know he goes super fast a lot of the time, but he just seems to stop and talk to the police occasionally or to somebody, and you would think they would be like, Barry, what are you doing? All right, so I think he looks very good, and then I like Tom Cavanaugh, and then I kind of like the Star Labs, junior scientists that are going to kind of be like his team. I think they look very well realized, and I'm interested in this. It looks good. It looks good to me. It doesn't look as... and I agree with the order. I think it should go Gotham, then Constantine, and then The Flash. And I think actually it goes kind of in order of the success of those networks. I think Fox has had much more success than NBC these days, and of course NBC more success than the CW. But I'm curious, of these three shows, which are you the most excited about? What do you think of how The Flash looks? What do you think of them going with the New 52 storyline? What do you think? Do you think Wally West is coming as well? Did you spot that? I'm very proud of myself. I'm not so good at Easter eggs with characters that I don't follow intensely. Like, I can get my X-Men and my Batman teases and even my Superman teases, but for a character like The Flash, I'm glad I did my research. All right, so that's my review of the Flash extended trailer. Thank you for everyone who asked me to review it. I hope you enjoyed the results, and you can check out some more episodes right now.